Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's Comic Moron. So today I will be collaborating with Jeff Mario for
Hey guys.
a new video. And this video is the future of the MCU. It's about the future of the MCU and what Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 4's ending means for the future of the MCU. So this scene, something that we definitely cannot ignore because it's literally releasing under the Disney title, and for it to be so violent, it's unbelievable. So, Jeffrey, first things first, what did you think about the ending of Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 4?
Before that, I just want to know how you changed from sick moron to comic moron. It's a new thing for me. So, care to
Well, Sick
explain?
Moron still exists, but Comic Moron is, you know, my second channel, so that I can
Yeah,
upload on Marvel and stuff because I can't stop talking about Marvel. Like literally,
right.
even in school, I keep talking about Marvel. My mouth is
True.
just a chit
I
chat.
can confirm. So, for the guys who don't know me yet, I'm Jeffrey Mario. That's my full name, and Jeff Mario is my channel. And I've been Ahmed's friend for past
10
10
years.
years now. But today we're here to talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. At least what we think will be the future. I kind of got deviated from it when this WandaVision thing was happening, and also maybe the Black Widow getting postponed. I got delayed. I couldn't cope up with it. So then, but what brought me back into Marvel is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Just
Hell
like
yeah,
Ahmed
let's
asked,
go.
yeah. So, as you said, as you asked me, what do I think about the ending of the fourth episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier? I really think it's a new phase for the MCU. It's a good phase because we were kids, like really small, when we started watching this, and they know that we are growing up with the MCU. So then we are okay with seeing stuff like that on screen. Right now, it's the small screens because we're at home, and I'm really enjoying the Falcon and the Winter Soldier so far. And if you didn't know this, Ahmed, this is a fact. Okay, the writer of John Wick is also a
I
writer
know
of the
that. I know
Falcon
that.
and the Winter Soldier
No wonder
fourth episode.
it's a
Yeah,
typical
exactly.
violent.
I'd love more of this, to be honest.
Okay, so now my take on the scene. That was pretty brutal. Okay, I was literally bored throughout the entire episode, and then suddenly John Walker gets triggered, and he decides to just take the shield and literally carve his chest. And I think that is
True.
what uh, Steve would have done to Tony in Civil War, but he didn't because he literally saw the pain in his eyes because he's already lost his parents because of Bucky, which
Exactly.
wasn't under his control. And here's one more thing. What makes this show even sadder is that Bucky is literally carrying a list of people who he wants to apologize to for killing their loved ones. But you know what's the sad thing over here is that he can't apologize to Tony for killing his parents because I mean, look at that
Yep.
irony. That was
Yeah,
lit.
true. It's a nice
And
parallel you drew there about how Captain America was nearly going to kill Tony. He could have, but he didn't. That's because mainly Steve Rogers was more of a matured man, and he had really the main superpower. If you see in him, is not actually his super soldier strength or anything.
it's
It's
his moral
his
values.
ability to process things. Yeah, and then like act maturely according to the situation, and that's why he's the captain and not anyone more powerful than him. Thor is definitely more powerful than Steve Rogers. So is Tony Stark, but yet he's the captain for a reason. So that's what is lacking in here with the John Walker.
And now thinking of this, I'm remembering that line in Captain America First Avenger when the scientist tells Steve Rogers that he should not be a perfect soldier but a good man. And that is why I think Sam Wilson should, you know, be Captain America.
Right,
Because literally,
exactly.
you see that scene with Carly where he's confronting and then telling her how she's doing wrong and bringing out the best side of her, and that proves that
Right.
he's a good man. He deserves to have that shield. But John Walker, you know what he's done. He's messed up. The whole world knows how
What
he
Sam
killed.
Wilson did was exactly what Cap would have done in the first place. Steve Rogers.
I miss him. But
Yeah.
rumors have it that he's going to return in the final episode, maybe. Uh,
Maybe
because the actor who plays
because they
John Walker,
haven't showed the fate of him yet. They didn't say he's dead. They
yeah,
didn't say he's alive.
and they
They
can't
just
just leave
said
it over there.
the
They can't
legacy
leave
of
it.
Cap.
They can't just leave him over there, just roaming around in the woods like an old man.
Exactly.
Okay, so moving on. I feel the scene. Okay, enough about the scene. Let's talk about what this means for future Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Before we get over it, Ahmad, I just want to say one thing. Um, what I feel about Captain America's future is that everyone else thinks that Captain America is just the one who has come through the 70 years of his life. So I don't think the ice part happened ever. Like he goes into the ice and then gets, you know, kind of a reborn type of thing. I don't think that phase ever happens. I think it's just direct from the Captain America, the first soldier, and then to now. So there is no really, the part where he still maintains his old look and stuff. So that's what I think. That's why they still remember Cap, but I don't think. I think the people there forgot about the real past, which he was going through the Winter Soldier phase. Really, what people think, I think in this particular universe, I think it's an altered reality right now because Cap went back in time and then he relived his legacy. What I think is that the people understood that in that place, or they don't know that he went back and chose this life. It's either one of the two. So then people think Cap is retired, either retired, or the sad part is that he's dead. So hopefully, for
They
now,
think he's
we
dead.
think he's retired.
They can't just because remember, Far From Home Memoriam, he was there among the dead Avengers, and that according to the world he is dead, but according to Sam and Bucky, he isn't. He is living his
Exactly.
best life because they can't just go and tell that he went in, went back in time to live with his girlfriend. Like seriously, what does
Right, right.
what kind of image does that give to Captain America, right?
Because in the Marvel, the time travel thing is completely different than what we've seen in Back to the Future and other time travel movies. And we would have seen that really clearly.
Now moving on to the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, when Kevin Feige said that Blade was going to be PG-13, everybody went ranting on Twitter and Instagram saying, why is this PG-13? It should be rated R. Because, if you don't know that there are three Blade movies which have been rated R and was huge successes. So according to me, it doesn't need to be rated R to be good. They can do that kind of a tone like Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 4, where it's PG-13, but they try to make it as violent as possible. Like they cross limits, but then they stay in limits. And they hope they do the same with Moon Knight. And yeah, Deadpool 3. No, Deadpool 3 is definitely going to be a hard R. We know that. There's not going to be
Yeah,
compromises or
hopefully.
anything. He's going to stay the same. But I'm just worried about them watering him down. I don't know, for some reason, even though they've promised that he's going to stay R rated, which I feel is a good thing. Deadpool isn't Deadpool if he stays R rated. He can stay PG-13 in crossover movies. And, PG-13 movies are allowed at least two F bombs and he can use them. And, the third time he tries to use the F bomb, he can break the fourth wall and,
True.
troll Disney.
Yeah, yeah, true. Because what I think is that Marvel really is expanding their views on, using all these things like violent particular scenes and then dialogues. I think they could still do it, but then you see, it's just that every thing they say, every swear word they give out, or a particular violent scene, it shouldn't be forced that people just like to see it. So here you go. It should have some kind of necessity, some kind of anguish should build up over the time. So that's what I'm expecting with Marvel here. I essentially don't need to make we don't need to make it R-rated because many of us we can't go to theaters if it is R-rated. So
I
I'm
can,
worried
I
about that
can,
one thing.
I can, I can. 16 child.
Soon, you're 16 plus, okay? So am I, but we can. I mean, I'm thinking that they should still maintain the PG-16 mark. Maybe that's what I think. They don't need to go too far, but they can go to a like you said, how far they went with Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Exactly. And I feel like they want to. cater more to the kids. They don't want to like turn it into a whole, like the X-Men universe where they produce more than one rated R movie. The X-Men universe had great R-rated movies. Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2, and Logan was a masterpiece. So if they bring
True.
Wolverine, speaking of Logan, if they bring Wolverine into the MCU, they have to make him rated R because that's a necessity to the character. See, that character, it's not going to be like overused. It's not going to be for the sake of it. That's Wolverine for you, okay? He literally he goes for the head. Like there's a scene in Logan where he takes his claws and he literally goes through one of the guy's head, and that's Wolverine. That's Wolverine for me. That isn't, there were two Wolverine PG-13 movies and they were disappointing. The second one was average, but the third one was amazing. I think I saw the R-rated cut of the second movie, even, but it was still disappointing. I just love.
But my views are kind of contradictory to yours, to be honest. Because I think if you're going to reboot such a legendary series of Wolverine, which ended with Logan, which was such a phenomenal movie, I don't think Marvel needs to. But if they are, I hopefully, I mean, that's in a really, really long run. Because what I feel is that they won't do it for the next 5 to 6 years, according to me, because they have a lot of plans ahead, even with these OTTs releases. But if hypothetically, they bring back Hugh Jackman, not any other actor. I don't want
Same.
Wolverine
I,
played
I
by
don't want
any other
any
actor.
actor. I don't want any other actor. I just want Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. He is
Exactly.
basically on the same level as Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, and
True.
a lot of other actors out there. And Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man is irreplaceable, but still
Exactly.
other actors who play him are nice, but they can never be as legendary as Tobey Maguire. We grew up with Tobey Maguire.
Speaking of Spider-Man, what do you think about Spider-Man um, in and the multiverse? With like, do you think
Spider-Man No Way
that?
Home,
Yep. Do you think anything is going to happen where they have a crossover with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire? Do
100%.
you think that
Okay,
there's a
yes,
possibility?
exactly. There was a leaked image of Spider-Man No Way Home merchandise. And if you look closely, you can see Andrew Garfield's suit on it. And not only that, but Andrew Garfield's stuntman was posted a picture on some kind of film set, and he tagged Tom Holland on that picture. Tom Holland or a stuntman, I don't know, but he tagged one of them. You know what that means. You really know what that means.
Yeah,
Like
it could happen. There's a good possibility.
there's a low
Hopefully, it does happen.
there's a low possibility of Tobey Maguire returning, but Andrew Garfield is 65% confirmed, or should I say 95% at this point.
I'd be happier, to be honest. I'd be happier if Tobey Maguire returns. I really don't care about Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Sorry if I'm being such a critic, but
How
I'm
how
not
can
a fan of the Amazing Spider-Man
okay?
series.
He
No.
was a great Spider-Man. He was a great Spider-Man, but he had bad luck. Facts. He had bad luck. That was the only problem. First Amazing
But
Spider-Man was good.
personally, I'm not a fan of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. I'm
No,
either with Tobey
if you read the
Maguire
comics,
or Tom Holland.
if you read the comics, you'll know how much you can relate to Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. He looks like Spider-Man, and he looks like the Peter Parker on Spider-Man PS4. You'll notice that. I always treat the Spider-Man PS4 game as the Amazing Spider-Man 3. We were supposed to get the Sinister Six.
What do you have next?
So this is my theory of what will happen in Spider-Man No Way Home. Now that you know Tom Holland's Peter Parker is in trouble, he has been framed with murder for murdering Mysterio. So now what happens is that he's not gonna have anyone to defend him. So what happens is that Matt Murdock turns up as his lawyer, aka Daredevil, because I feel like his role would make the most sense because he's gonna get him out of this problem. But where do Andrew and Toby have connections with this? It's very interesting to see. Like Tom Holland himself confirmed that Andrew and Toby will not be showing up, but we can't trust him anymore because he has been trained very well by
Exactly.
Marvel Studios.
He's the
He,
same kid who gave spoilers. He can give reverse spoilers. You never
yeah,
know. You
I
never
mean,
know.
things have
And
changed.
I think that there's a low possibility that Daredevil could make a debut in the MCU. But as you said, it would be nice. It would be nice. I'm not saying it wouldn't. Of because he's another amazing hero, and his series has been really violent. And myself, I haven't really watched the Daredevil series
If
or
you
any
haven't
other
watched it,
MCU
you
series
have to
yet,
cancel your Netflix
which
subscription.
was the past.
You have to cancel your Netflix
I will.
subscription.
Hopefully, I will soon. Sooner or later, let me see. But as of I've seen a bits of the scenes, and it's really, powerful movie. I mean, powerful series. I'm sorry about that. And what I think is that the Spider-Man could really be connected with the Doctor Strange and the Multiverse Madness, that movie, because I think there's a really good connection between these two movies, because I think Doctor Strange is really going to expand into the multiverse and bring in these other Spider-Mans, and that is going to draw into this new Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man No Way Home. So that's what I think.
Like, and one more coincidence is that the rights of Daredevil returned to Marvel Studios as soon as Spider-Man 3 began filming. So coincidence? I think not. And they also said that the rights of Punisher have been returned to the MCU. And if they don't keep him rated R, see now another character who really needs to be rated R. His name itself feels R rated. Punisher, like making Punisher PG-13 is like making Mickey Mouse rated R. So that's definitely not possible. Punisher literally, he's full of violence and rage, and he really stabs and I don't know what not to his enemies. He's really violent. So I think he definitely needs to be rated R in the MCU. And yeah, I think that's all the characters that really need to be, rated R in the MCU. But I wouldn't mind a PG-13, but if it's perfectly done, then I don't mind. Just please perfectly do it. I don't want them to mess up, I don't want them to mess up Punisher and Daredevil and all these characters. Let's talk about the Fantastic Four. Who would you want to play Reed Richards?
I have no idea.
John
I
Krasinski.
have no idea about the Fantastic Four. I haven't watched the first movie itself because I know such a terrible movie it is. That's what
Have,
everyone is saying. So why would I
have you
waste
seen
my
the
time?
2004? Have you seen the 2004 movie?
I haven't seen a single Fantastic Four movie yet, and I don't look forward to seeing any.
Come on, man. John
That's my
Krasinski
verdict.
is Mr. Fantastic. Come on, literally, he's been giving hints of
Maybe
it.
if the MCU makes their own, they are, which they are, I might. But
The
as
f-
of now, I'm not interested in the Fantastic Four.
the Fantastic Four gives incredible vibes because they're Marvel's first family. How can you forget that Marvel's first family? And now we finally need to get a fantastic Four movie. See what I did there? Wordplay. We need to get a fantastic
Help
Four movie.
me.
we need to. We need, okay, so
Okay.
basically, the one thing that they need to make this movie success is John Krasinski as Reed Richards, because I can't see anyone playing this role. Like if you watch his movies, A Quiet Place, and you watch his TV show, The Office, you'll see a bit of like smartness inside him, innocence inside him, and that's what he needs to play Reed Richards. We all thought he was going to appear in WandaVision. We were all expecting it, but we got White Vision. Ah,
It's
and we
like they
thought,
dipped inside Alfredo sauce and then took him out, and then they just placed him in front of the screen. It was pretty obnoxious.
and we thought we were going to get Mephisto, but turns out it was Agatha all along. See what I did there
Yep.
again? It was Agatha.
Help me.
Chapman is at this point where he doesn't want to carry on this meeting anymore. The last thing we'll discuss about is Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania and what that means for future Avengers movies. As we know, Kang the Conqueror will show up. He's an Avengers level threat in the comics. Maybe I've not really read much about him, but judging by his looks and everything, he seems like an Avengers level threat. So maybe he can become a villain. Maybe he's the main villain for Phase 5 of the MCU. They are reportedly developing an Avengers 5 movie. It could maybe be New Avengers, Young Avengers.
It
Same
will
thing.
come out when we are 20 years old. Don't worry about
Yeah.
that.
And another one is the Dark Avengers, which contains US Agent, which is John Walker, the horrible Captain America.
I'm pretty sure that John Walker won't be Captain America by the end of
He's going to
the
become the
Falcon
US
and the
Agent.
Winter Soldier.
That's how he gets his
Yeah,
US Agent costume, the black and red.
yeah.
And I, now, if you take a look at the new trailer, which was released about 2 days back, he is literally holding a new shield. Many people are saying that it's made out of adamantium. Now that everyone has seen what he has done, he's going to be dismissed as Captain America. But where does he get this new shield from? And when he gets his new shield, will we see a hand to hand shield combat with Falcon and the US agent? Like, remember that Endgame scene, Captain America versus Captain America, where
As
they,
of as we're speaking action here, I think that there's a really good possibility that the very next episode, which is episode 5, the recording date of this video is 14th April. So we had the mid-season trailer, if you'd have seen it. So the new Captain America, John Walker, and Bucky and Sam are opposing each other, and then they're there. So what I think is that that could lead into a fight scene where you know how Captain America and Bucky, had that fight with Iron Man.
yeah,
They're gonna have that fight with John Walker. That's what I think is gonna
I
happen.
hope he does the same thing to him. He deserves it.
Not happening for the second time though.
It better happen. Okay, so
You
that was
hate
it.
John Walker that much.
I hate him. I hate him. He destroyed the legacy of the shield by putting blood on that.
I was saying is that if they made Falcon and the Winter Soldier like the new Captain America, I think the fans wouldn't really like it because in normal like if you see normally when you have such legendary characters played by such people, you tend to say why do you need the reboot? Just kill them off, just die them. Like you either die a hero or you live your long enough to see yourself become the villain. That's literally the quote which implies here. So it's a good thing that they made Sam Wilson and Bucky to hate the new Captain America, so the fans don't have to.
And I really love with the where they're going with this show so far, and I hope that the future of the MCU holds a lot in store for us, holds a lot of good for us. Hope we get more movies like Endgame. Now that I think of it, they shouldn't kill John Walker off. Maybe make him remain for some more time make him go on the run. He could maybe play a huge role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe phase.
Yeah,
Maybe in the next phase, maybe he can play a huge role. But I feel like if we look deep into this character, he is full of responsibilities. He is not trying to copy Steve Rogers. That isn't his main objective. He just wants to be Captain America. He wants to be accepted by the society. You know,
yeah,
like
right.
basically all of us. He wants to fit in. He, but he's just he's uncomfortable at the same time. So that's
He's
what
not as mature as Steve Rogers,
I
according
mean.
to my perspective.
He can never be. He can never be Steve Rogers. He can be Captain America, but he
True.
can never be Steve Rogers. Captain
Exactly.
America isn't a hero. Fact is, Captain America isn't a hero. Steve Rogers is
Steve
because
Rogers was, yeah,
of his
exactly.
principles, of his moral values, and his rules of how the shield should be used. But John Walker, obviously, you can't blame him also for. You can't blame John Walker for destroying the legacy of that shield by killing someone. His best friend was murdered. Okay, how would we react in that situation? We would also get triggered, right? So basically, he's all of us.
Yeah.
But if you notice, one more depressing thing about that guy dying is that he was a Captain America fan and he was killed by the shield of Captain America, the shield of his own
True.
hero. Now that's kind of
Exactly.
dark, and
That's really dark. I think
that's
you watched the Canadian lads, slow down video. In that, he really explains it. So check that out if you
yeah,
guys haven't watched it.
it's so ironic how it happens, and I hope that
Exactly.
I hope that we get to see more intense sequences like this in the MCU. But for now, we're wrapping up this video for now. So make sure to like, subscribe to Jeff Mario, and subscribe to my
Thank you.
channel. Bye. Love you all. Peace.
Thank you so much for watching.